What is up, FPG fam? Further here, and welcome back to another Aether Gazer video. Now, we all know Leviathan is a good support and an even better healer, but what a lot of people don't realize or fail to mention is that she's actually a really good damage dealer as well. She's what I consider an all-around modifier, one that can support and dish out the damage. So that's what we're going to showcase in today's video, my main DPS Leviathan, because it actually slaps. She kind of cooks. So I hope you get some value out of this video, and I do hope you enjoy. I'm going to show the build off first, and then we'll do a bit of a showcase. Let's go over to my Leviathan. We're going to talk about the Aether codes first. Now, I tried the full red path, and it is good. I'm not going to deny that, but I do prefer the 2 red and the 1 yellow. And the reason being is because the last one that you're going to be missing out on, it's a good one. It inflicts armor break, which is going to decrease the enemy's defense by 10% for 6 seconds, and then it decreases the enemy's water resistance by 15% for 6 seconds. That's good, right? The reason I prefer the yellow over this one is because the multipliers are not that high, if I'm being honest, and it is for 6 seconds, so you have to keep that in mind. With the yellow, you're actually going to be reducing the cooldown of your skills, just depending on which ones you're using, and I find that leads to slightly more DPS overall. Now, the 2 reds are just a given, right? They're going to be able to increase your normal attack damage and damage in general, so these 2 are phenomenal. So I prefer the 2 red and 1 yellow, but I will not dismiss that the last one here, the full red, is still really good. Once again, just for the reasons that I mentioned, I prefer the yellow one. So that is the Aether code that I'm going to be going with. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about sigils at this time, and this is where things get a little interesting for me. So this is the set that everybody would consider to be the main DPS Leviathan set, right? The Mermaid's Tear paired with the Jonas Echo, and it makes sense because the Mermaid's Tear increases water damage by 10%, and then it lowers the enemy's water resistance by 5% for 10 seconds, and then it increases your crit rate by 5% when landing an attack on an enemy with lowered water resistance. And then we know what the Jonas Echo do, right? So that makes sense. But from my testing, and this is where I find things to be just a little interesting, from my testing, the Hippocratic Oath, the one that you would consider to be the main support Leviathan build, was outperforming or out damaging my Mermaid's Tear. Now, the only thing that I can think of before I change this, let me show you the skills that I have on it. The only thing that I can think of are 2 reasons on why that could be the case. Let me show you the skill effects really quickly. So I have 7, 3, and 7. Not bad, right? And then the rest you can see right here. Not bad at all. And this set was doing damage. Don't get me wrong. I was hitting little over 2.2 mil with this set pretty consistently. So it's a really good one for main DPS Leviathan. But the Hippocratic Oath, it just might be a better build that I have on it, coupled with one other thing that I'm going to talk about here in just a second. So let me go ahead and switch this up really fast, and then I'll go ahead and show you. So on the Hippocratic Oath, this one that I have right here that I farmed up initially, I think this one is a slightly better build. As you can see, for skill effects, level 8, 4, and 7. That might be playing a role. I don't find that to be far off, but I guess the additional attack percentage and the additional crit rate percentage is enough to really outperform the other one. For example, like I mentioned, I hit a little over 2.2 mil with Mermaid's Tear. With Hippocratic Oath, I hit 3.7 mil. It was pretty nutty. And then 2.8 mil, somewhere, you know, it was around that range I was hitting, and it was pretty nutty and quite surprising. So that, I don't know if that's leading to it, or it's that coupled with the fact that Hippocratic Oath is synergistic with Jonas Echo, meaning the second half of this set bonus increases damage of the mod or teammate healed by 0.2% for every 1% healing boost on the healer, up to a maximum of 15%. And we know the Hippocratic Oath increases healing effects by 10%. So synergistically, this sounds like it works out to be more beneficial in terms of damage output. Now, from my understanding reading this, it doesn't work with the first half because it says with the first half, effects from multiple sigils do not stack up. I don't know if that's only for the first half or for the second half as well for the full set. Once again, I'm not entirely too sure because it's not clear for me, but you can let me know in the comments down below. But that's the only thing that I can think of because, you know, obviously this is a slightly better split that we have here, but I can't imagine that just those slight percentage increases would then net that much difference in terms of damage from my testing anyways. I would have to think that this plays a role as well, the Hippocratic Oath being able to apply for this second half. But once again, I could be wrong about that. You guys could let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and showcase both the Mermaid's Tear and the Hippocratic Oath. When I jump into the gameplay, I'll let you know which one's on, and you guys can let me know the results in the comments section. So Once again, do hope you enjoy the gameplay. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Regardless, Leviathan is hitting like an absolute truck. She really is. And a lot of people failed to mention that when they were talking about her. They only mentioned her healing and her supporting capabilities being, you know, the damage reduction. But nobody talked about her damage. And her damage is kind of off the charts. And that's why I say Leviathan is one of those all-around modifiers where she supports with the healing and the damage reduction, which is super valuable, but she's contributing to the damage output as well in a very significant way, not in a minor way. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the showcase. Okay, so this is with Mermaid's Tear on, and this is the hardest hazard zone cleaning. Jeez, I had a hard time trying to get that out. This is going to be the hardest hazard zone cleaning, and I'm going to try when I do the other set with the Hippocratic Oath, I'm going to try and have the very same setups in terms of the way I do the skills and the ults and things of that nature, so we can have a pretty accurate comparison. That's what I tried to do when I was doing my testing before recording this video, so I try to keep things very consistent in that terms. But we're going to go ahead and try this out here. While they're frozen, let's go ahead and lay this down. And let's go ahead and do this. And we're going to do Scotty's ult because, once again, they're all frozen. They can't move. They're not going nowhere. But, yeah, to my surprise, Leviathan is a very good modifier. A very, very good modifier. Far better than what I initially thought. I knew she was going to be good, but I thought only from the healing aspect was she going to be good. No, this modifier is actually good on the damage side as well, being able to contribute a lot there, like I mentioned earlier. And it was just surprising to me. And maybe it's because she has the set that works with her so well, and it's a crack set, because not only is it going to increase damage for her, but damage for your teammates, increase healing. And what I'm starting to notice as well is that you don't have to go with the blue Aether side code, because her healing, even with the damage side, is plenty enough to get you through any content that you might need the healing for, because she heals so much even without the blue Aether code side. So you can build her main DPS if you want to, and that works out perfectly fine, right? So I'm going to hold off on all the ults here. And once again, I'm going to try and do the same setup when I do the Hippocratic Oath, so that way things are pretty consistent. We don't have really any outliers. So I'm hoping Scotty can get her ult here soon when we hit modified mode. Okay, we hit modified mode. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And once again, I'm going to try and replicate this. We're going to do this. All ults, baby. Popped every single one of them off. Do the skills, do the skills, do the skills. Okay. What do we got here? 1.9, almost 2 mil, right? Almost 2 mil, which is not bad. Is not bad at all for a modifier that's supposed to be a healer, right? And you could imagine how much higher that would be if I was the one piloting Scotty. So that could be much higher. And it also could be higher if I had Vidar on here for the ultimate skill chain. So those are all things you can get this to be even higher, right? I'm gonna save the ult once again and see if we can get the oh my gosh, there's a lot going on. I'm gonna save all the ults so when we go into modified mode again we can test it out. Okay, I'm gonna go after this guy, see if we get him in the modified mode. We got all the ults. Okay, we're gonna pop this, we're gonna pop this. Here we go with this, and we're gonna drop this down. Big slam, do the skill. Okay, do the skill, skill, and oh, was that 3 mil? Okay, when I was doing my initial testing beforehand, I don't think I hit 3. I mean, that was a pretty optimal setup though in terms of skills and ults and everything, bro. Three. I think that was 3 mil, slightly over 3 mil. I would have to watch the video back, but yeah, I think it was. That's pretty spicy, right? Pretty spicy. And you see, we're in no danger of dying just because of the heals is just insane, even with the DPS side, like I mentioned before. Yeah, that was pretty nutty. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do the same setup on the same level and see what we're able to do with the Hippocratic Oath. Okay, we're hopping back in. Now this is with Hippocratic Oath. And let's see what we get here in terms of damage output. Same team build. Same everything. Once again, I'm going to wait until we have full ult. Full ult. Oh my gosh. Full ult. And then with everybody. And then try and replicate the same scenario. And see what the results are. Okay. While we're in modified mode, we might as well do that. And let's go ahead and do that. If you have Leviathan, I guess this would be a great time to ask. If you have Leviathan, let me know what your results have been in terms of DPS, or have you been just using her as a healer, as a main support? I find Leviathan to be extremely universal, that can fit on any team. And she's, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think I will say it. I find her to be pretty future-proof, meaning that she's going to be very valuable down the road, long-term. She's always going to have a place on teams because of her utility and what she's able to bring to the table for your team, and for whatever, especially if you're taking on like very hard content. I can see Leviathan being extremely valuable for that. So, you know, I've been very happy with the results and how this modifier has been performing. Not only performing, but man, she's a lot of fun to use as well. I still think Scotty's more fun to use from a gameplay standpoint, but Leviathan is also very fun to use because she's just very unique with her normal attacks and her skills. Chaining those together, I think they're very, very unique in that aspect. And you guys know, if you've been on the channel watching the videos, you know I'm very much like the unique gameplay. My goodness, sometimes when I'm trying to play the game and commentate at the same time, it can be a little bit difficult. Okay, so we're gonna get him in the modified mode here in just a second. And I think I'm going to save everything until we get into modified mode here. And here we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and pop this off. Pop this off. Okay. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then we're going to go ahead and skill it up. Do that again. We might have gotten an extra one there. 2.3 mil. Okay. We might have gotten an extra one there. Skill 3, I'm meaning, if you guys were wondering what I meant by an extra one. I'm talking about skill 3. So we got 2.3 mil there. That might have been a more optimal rotation for that one than the previous one. Okay, let's see what we could do here. Okay, Poseidon, you're going to freeze them. You missed the... No, you did not miss the freeze. Hey, I thought you missed the freeze for sure. I thought she missed the freeze. Jeez, already. Oh, I don't have... Oh, I don't got the optimal setup because we're already in modified mode. I didn't get the ult. Okay. 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 Okay, I got the ult now. Let's go ahead and do it. Not bad. This is still pretty optimal. Pretty similar. One more. 3.5 mil. Okay. So, you see what I'm saying? And it was, for the most part, pretty similar, right? I mean, I had, yeah. But you see what I'm saying? The Hippocratic Oath is just, I think that was 3.5 mil, right? Sometimes I can't see the numbers properly. I'm playing the game. It happens so fast. Usually I got to see it on the recording. Regardless, the point is that the girl cooks. The girl absolutely cooks, you know, and I don't know what to say. Everybody was touting her as this great support, and she is, but dang it, she's a freaking good damage dealer as well. She hits like an absolute truck. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something from it. Once again, that is my main DPS Leviathan build. She can absolutely slap and do some damage if you want her to, right? If you want her to, she can definitely do that for you. And that's what I recommend. Once again, I don't recommend going the blue path and just making her a healer, because her healing is really good already without needing to do that. Go ahead and make her as a main DPS, even if you don't use her as a main DPS. Like I mentioned, if I was piloting Scotty, that could probably be even higher, just because I'll be playing Scotty more optimally than the computer. So maybe I'll try that out and see what we could do. But then again, I might be playing Leviathan more optimally than the computer would. Anyways, that's besides the point. I digress. Build her as a main DPS and the healing will be there for you. You don't have to worry about that. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. If you have any further questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to answer that. Remember to stand out, be different, have support. What? Be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody. You call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.